Hello my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you are on my channel, I'm Vanessa Samina and welcome to the fam. You guys, today's reading is all about your love life and how to transform it. I have prepared 4 groups for you today and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. Allow your intuition to make the right choice for you. So regarding the 4 groups, we have the Libyan gold Tektite, we have the Barite, we have the Amethyst, as well as the Malachite. But as you guys know, the timestamps are down below in the description box, so feel free to open up that description box and fast forward to the reading or readings of your choice. So did you notice how I said readings as in multiple readings? I want you to know that it is possible to be drawn to multiple groups and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So if you feel like you're somehow drawn to multiple groups, like you cannot make up your mind, then tune into multiple readings because your personal reading may be a mixture of a couple of these 4 groups. So before I get into the readings, I just wanted to let all my beautiful little unicorns know that I love each and every one of you guys so much, and I'm so appreciative and grateful for all the love and support. And yeah, I'm excited to get into the readings. So I'm going to start off with the first group, which corresponds to the Libyan gold Tektite. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Libyan gold Tektite. So this is a stone that is found in the Saharan desert and it is gorgeous. I mean, it looks like basically the sun coming up. It is so beautiful, it is so bright. And regarding the reason why you may have chosen this stone, the Libyan gold Tektite is especially for cancers or basically anybody who has situations in their life that are a bit unclear, that are a bit wishy-washy, that need clarifying, sort of like a genre, if you know what I mean. So anything in your life that is unclear, this may have to do with your love life that is not completely distinguished yet. The Libyan gold Tektite is for people who need to banish any miscellaneous situations, if you will. But let's move further into your reading to figure out what you can do to transform your love life. Okay, so group number 1, in your reading, we have the 9th house, we have insecurity, we have the koi fish spirit, we have destiny, we have the seahorse spirit, we have the Libyan gold Tektite, as already mentioned, we have the grasshopper spirit, we have perfection, release, the hummingbird spirit, as well as the 3rd house. So group number 1, I'm gonna get straight into your reading about how you can transform your love life. So first and foremost, I see that in the 9th house, you know, being a bit more spiritual and broadening your horizons to a lot of different aspects and facets of love is something that would be beneficial and is something that would transform your love life. So I want you to know that going on a long journey physically is also something that can aid you when it comes to that. So if you always have had this urge to do some solo traveling, or you've always felt like there's this place that you want to visit, be it Rome, be it London, Tokyo, whatever city, whatever place that you've ever wanted to go to, make sure that you plan that solo trip. Make sure that you actually go through with it, because a long journey with yourself, with a lot of introspection, is something that is invaluable. It's something that nobody can somehow give you the wisdom of, if you know what I mean. So this is just a situation that I see that can transform your love life, where you have to take action. There's nobody who can tell you, oh, you know, you have to behave like this in order to transform your love life, or you have to do that in order to find your dream partner. This is something that you need to feel and experience all by yourself, because there are many lessons in life that nobody can teach you. Even if people would tell you what the lessons were, you have to learn them yourself to truly have them, you know, ingrained in you. So moving further into your reading, I see that insecurity is at the root of a few issues when it comes to your love life. Getting rid of insecurities could truly transform your love life. So insecurities often stem from, you know, situations where we've been ridiculed or we've been made to feel uncomfortable about something, because human beings are not born in a way that they're insecure and that they feel ashamed. You know what I mean? Like we don't know being ashamed until we learn it. So that could have started very young. For instance, if somebody made fun of your appearance as a kid, you may have from that moment on had a insecurity about whatever it is that you were teased for. So know that oftentimes sometimes insecurities go way, way, way back, and they have nothing to do with who you are right now. And that is a very long process. It's a very long transformation. It's something that I've been through myself, you know, going from being called fat and chubby and ugly to all of a sudden being in a completely different situation where, you know, you have to identify as a new person, where you cannot let those things bring you down anymore. So I definitely want you to keep in mind that getting rid of insecurity is a long route. It can take a long time, but at the same time, you know, it is capable of being removed completely. You can undo any insecurities that have built up over the years for you. So know that you are destined to let go of insecurities. Know that your destiny in your love life has everything to do with you feeling comfortable in your own body, with your appearance, with your personality, and just letting go of any sort of negative crap that has been said about you in the past, because you don't need that right now. What you truly need is confidence. What you truly need is to transform a little more spiritually, emotionally, go on a long journey, if you will, and to just know that you are enough. You know, in the koi fish spirit, I see that what is essential for you is to always, always, always remember you are enough, and never let anybody tell you otherwise, whether it be, you know, a man, a woman, whoever. You're enough, and there is nobody out there who has the right to tell you otherwise. Just like you don't go out telling other people that they're not enough, other people don't have the right to be doing that to you. So know that how you can transform your love life is by you being confident, by you knowing that you're enough, because that sort of energy and vibration will attract somebody super, super cool. Somebody who knows how to handle you, somebody who knows how to respect you, and somebody who will continuously make you feel comfortable in your own skin, because they're attracted to you already being enough. You know, they're attracted to who you were when they met you, which is somebody who is not insecure, somebody who knows that they're enough and who knows their value. So I definitely feel in correlation to the Libyan gold Tektite, maybe that is something that is still a little bit wishy-washy. It's either you sort of are still in a state of a little bit of insecurity, or you're pretty secure in your life. I mean, yes, there are gray areas, but you know what I mean. You have to flip that switch and know that that cannot be an area of your life that is wishy-washy. That cannot be an area of your life that is undefined. You have to define your worth, and you have to put it right up there. So moving further into your reading, I definitely see that taking the leap of faith will transform your love life. So as I said, that solo trip would be beneficial for you, furthering your spirituality, as well as just like your horizons. Look at other cultures, try and learn another language, just see things from a different perspective. That is something that will make you insanely attractive to your twin flame. That is something that will allow you to also, you know, take the leap of faith and to just live in the moment, you know, to just be here now. We have in the hummingbird spirit, you know, a situation where you're very mindful, where you're very in the now, and that is super important. So as I already mentioned, you know, we have the Libyan gold Tektite, but we also have the grasshopper spirit, perfection, release, the hummingbird spirit, and the third house. So moving further into this part of your reading, I see that, you know, moving forward, perfection is something that you need to let go of. Perfection is something that does not exist, and I want you not to strive for it. So next time you're on social media and you think to yourself, oh my God, like look at all of these perfect bodies and perfect faces, know that it's not real. Know that there is a reason why it's on social media, and you never actually see somebody like that walk down the street. I mean, I have never seen anybody in real life that looks like in those Instagram photos, if you know what I mean. So release any of that sort of unrealistic expectation. Release that, you know, that is something that will transform your love life. Letting go of unrealistic expectations for yourself, for women, men, people in general, and knowing that human beings are imperfect and there is no such thing as perfection. And if it doesn't exist, why strive for it? Because the only thing you can do is lose. The only thing you can do is basically make yourself feel less worthy. So group number one, keep that in mind, that will truly transform your love life, knowing that there is nothing in this world that is perfect, and there is absolutely nothing you can do to be perfect. So once you let go of that pressure of being perfect or more beautiful or more intelligent, that is when you truly start to love yourself, and insecurities just fall away, just drop dead like flies, if that's a saying, right? And that is when you will be able to take bigger leaps of faith than you have up until now, because you will feel confident in yourself. You will feel like, I can do this and I have nothing to worry about. So in the third house, I definitely see that transforming your love life has everything to do with learning. So as I already said, furthering yourself is something that will allow you to accomplish what it is that you want in life, that will allow you to manifest your dream love life. So know that learning is something that is not always fun, but it needs to be done. You can't remain on the same level that you are right now. You need to further your education. If you can do that with a course or just basically finish school, that is something that will transform your love life, because it will open doors to new situations, new people, and basically open up a lot of new settings where you can potentially meet your twin flame. So definitely know that reading up, being smart, those are all things that will transform your love life. I definitely see that you have a little bit more wisdom that you can gain in order to transform your love life. And definitely I can see in the seahorse spirit, watch and wait, give things a little bit of time. The seahorse stands for you allowing time to pass, allowing things to develop, and taking time for personal growth. And in order to transform your love life, really work on this little string of insecurity. Really work on reminding yourself that perfection is something that doesn't exist. Instagram, social media, Facebook, YouTube. Well, YouTube, you look the way you look on camera, but Instagram, it's all photoshopped, and that is something that I do as well. Like, I don't look exactly like I do in the photos. I don't have skin that is super smooth with absolutely not one tiny imperfection or pore or, just stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Know that who you can look to are people who are honest. So look for influencers who are honest. Look for people who, they do live in today's day and age, but at the same time, they're not gonna lie to you. They're not gonna say that they are this perfect breed of person. And that in turn will make you feel a lot more like, hey, they're just like everybody else, so I don't need to feel bad about myself. I don't need to feel insecure about myself, and I'm worthy of love, and transforming my love life begins now, as soon as I start to love myself and as soon as I drop any of these nasty insecurities. So group number 1, that is a reading that I received for you. I really hope that you enjoyed it, that you found it insightful, and I wish you all the best for your love life, and I'll see you in my next reading. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Barite. So group number 2, first and foremost, I want to talk to you about why you may have chosen the Barite, aside from the fact that it is a really elegant mineral. So group number 2, the Barite is for anybody who wakes up in the morning thinking that their destiny is anything but this. Anything but this job, anything but this path of education, anything but this life. So it's basically for anyone who needs to transform their life and start going after what it is that they're truly made for. So if you feel like you're not quite in the right place, or you feel like you've missed your calling or haven't figured out yet what your calling is, that may be why you've chosen the Barite. But let's move into your reading about how we can transform your love life in order to figure out what is really going on for you. Okay, so group number 2, in your reading, we have the second house, we have the electric eel spirit, we have perseverance, we have the squirrel spirit, we have forgiveness, we have perception, we have the peacock spirit, the horse spirit, acceptance, as well as the 10th house. So group number 2, I'm going to get straight into your reading without any hesitation. So I see that transforming your love life has everything to do with bringing your ideas to life, everything to do with bringing that electric eel spirit to the surface. So if you feel like your life has been a little bit dull, or if you feel like whatever it is that you're doing right now is not your calling, as already mentioned in the Barite, then you're probably right. And the only thing you can do about it is bringing your ideas of what truly resonates with you and what truly is your life to life. You have to bring those ideas to life. You have to give them oxygen. You have to give them the nutrition that they need in order for them to grow. So know that your dream life what it is that you've been destined to do does not always just fall onto your lap. It does not always just have an easy route in place for you. Sometimes you need to awaken your ideas with like a zap of electricity, just as the electric eel spirit suggests. So know that there has to be balance though. You know, the number 24 is a very balanced number. It is a very grounded number. So on one side, there are polar opposites maybe. So for instance, you know, security and what you know up until this point is totally opposite from what your destiny is, from what it is that you feel like your calling is, because it's unknown, it's something you've never done before, and it's something that could be really frightening. So group number 2, know that in order to transform your love life, you also need to transform what it is that your calling is. You need to transform how you feel about it, and you know, whether you're going after it or not. So moving further into your reading in the squirrel spirit, I see that in order to transform your love life, you have to believe in yourself. So the squirrel spirit is a very strong-minded spirit. It is a spirit that isn't afraid of failure, that isn't afraid of anything that is unknown. So try and tank up a little bit of that. Try and make sure that you start to believe in yourself, no matter how little you feel, no matter how insignificant you may feel right now. Know that you are important. Know that there are people who love you unconditionally, and it is essential for you to believe in yourself. For you owe it to yourself. So never ever forget that, group number 2. And in the peacock spirit, I see that in order to transform your love life, you need to let yourself shine. You know, the peacock is all about expression. It's all about being out there, being bold, and not caring about what other people think. And you know, even being prepared to outshine others. Obviously not going out with the intention of doing that, but if it happens, oh well, it happens, because you're not going to dim your light just in order to let somebody else shine. You know, that time is over, and in order to transform your love life, you need to learn that. You need to know that there shouldn't be anybody out there who feels threatened by you, because if people were to allow themselves shine and allow themselves to truly love themselves, they wouldn't care about the light next to them. They wouldn't care about, you know, the peacock down the road, because they feel comfortable in their skin, they love themselves, and they don't feel the need to dim somebody else's light or, you know, pluck somebody else's feathers in order for them to look bigger and brighter and greater. So know that it's amazing for you and your love life to have that confidence, to believe in yourself, and to let yourself shine. And never feel inadequate. Don't feel like there's anything wrong with you. So if you feel like your hair is really different, or your body is really different, or your skin tone is something that is uncommon, I want you to know that that is what makes you beautiful, that is what makes you different, and just allow yourself to accept yourself. You know, in acceptance, I see that that is something that will allow you to transform not only your love life, but also tons of other areas of your life. So in the second house, you know, we have your assets, things of the earthly realms, finances, time, etc. That is all stuff that will benefit from you accepting yourself, especially, you know, time, and especially your finances, because once you stop nitpicking at yourself, and once you start to just love yourself and accept yourself for who you are, all of a sudden things become a lot less complicated, because all of a sudden you have way more time for other things, because you have a more positive mindset, and you're not busy thinking about your imperfections. You're busy thinking about how you can conquer the world and how you can transform your love life to what you've always wanted it to be. So know that acceptance for what is the now, and accepting the fact that you can change your future, that you have the power to change what happens tomorrow and the day after that. That is a very powerful tool. But also accept that what has happened yesterday and this moment that is going on right now is one that you can't change. You know what I mean? But what you can change is do work for the future. What you can change is steer your life in the right direction by acting now in order to see results later. So moving further into your reading, I definitely see that, you know, your achievements, your status, etc., that is all part of your transformation in your love life. So I definitely want you to be out there with your achievements. Anything that you have been able to achieve, don't be so shy about it. So There are so many of us who have achieved great things. You know, maybe you have won a contest, or you're amazing at drawing, or you're somebody who has done a lot or been through a lot at a very young age, and you came out of it stronger and better. And your accomplishments, the way the world sees you, is often, you know, ruled by how you allow people to see you. So you have power over how people see you because you're the one putting the information out there. You're most likely the one putting the information out there. I mean, there are always exceptions, and there are always situations where other people release information about you, whether it's true or false, and you know, that can cloud other people's judgment. But for the most part, you decide what side of you goes out there into the world. So definitely celebrate your accomplishments. Let people know that you're somebody who has been through a lot and who has come out the other end, you know, doing well, and who has accomplished things that maybe others have not. And that has nothing to do with being cocky. That has nothing to do with showing off. You know, the peacock, yes, it is a beautiful bird, and yes, many people say male peacocks show off. But that is just how they are. You know, they're naturally like that. They don't need to show off, and know that you naturally have that as well. Then in the horse spirit, I see that, you know, freedom is something that you have to allow yourself. So I feel like maybe you have been confining yourself to a certain dating box. So maybe you don't want to date anybody who is too successful. Maybe you don't want to date anybody whose second as well as 10th house is too out there. So, you know, somebody who's maybe too successful, who's too wealthy, who has a very high social status. Maybe you felt up until this point like, will somebody like that really like me? And I want you to know that being like that is something that is no coincidence. Somebody who is successful and who stands really high socially, they have most likely worked for that. They have most likely, you know, allowed themselves to love and accept themselves. So know that there is no reason for you to feel as if you have to confine yourself to a certain type of person, or like, you know, you're not good enough for X, Y, and Z. These things, status, as well as the earthly realms, they're constantly changing. One day it can be like this, one day it can be like that. So while you may feel like you have to decide, you know, what kind of person you date and what kind of person you allow in your love life, I want you to know that there is no reason to do that, because as already mentioned, things in the earthly realms are constantly changing. They may be wealthy today, they could not be wealthy tomorrow. Your social status may not be particularly high today. All of a sudden in 3 months' time, it's a lot higher than you ever thought possible. So know that this is something that is constantly changing, and you should not base your love life or your worth on these things. So moving further into your reading, you know, we have perception, and I want you to know that perception is always subjective and is something that, you know, does not correlate to reality necessarily. So how you perceive somebody when you first meet them, how you perceive a situation, also how you perceive yourself does not always have to be real. So just like, for instance, you know, body dysmorphia does this thing where you perceive yourself as too skinny, too fat, too ugly, too this, too that. That doesn't mean that it is reality. That doesn't mean that it is actually something that is even close to being feasible. So keep in mind that what will transform your love life is to try and really get a hold on your perception and really think to yourself, is my perception as close to reality as possible, or is it kind of like a little bit screwed up? You know, do you see yourself in a completely different light than other people? If so, try and adjust, you know, because most of the time we see ourselves in a much dimmer light than other people see us. So try and adjust, because that will allow you to love yourself more and accept yourself more, which will then in turn transform your love life even further. So forgive yourself for anything that you've done to yourself up until this day. It could be self-harm, it could be talking to yourself in a way that is not very kind, or making yourself feel like you're not worthy of letting your light shine. Either way, you know, forgiveness is something that you need to transform your love life, your life in general, and just your mental capabilities, because when you're always feeling sort of pressured and down and like you're not enough, it's really hard to accomplish things. So group number 2, keep in mind that you have to not only move forward, not only create today in order to, have a nicer future, but you also need to forgive what has happened, and you also need to let go of any grudges. So in perseverance, just stay strong. I definitely want you to not give up. I want you to know that transforming your love life is a journey, and it's a journey where you can learn so much about yourself and where you can accomplish so much before you even meet a twin flame, before you even meet that perfect partner. So know that perseverance is something that always pays off. Know that being consistent in your actions of love, self-love, in your actions of, just staying on the ball and working on yourself, as well as being that person that others can see shines, being that person that others can see believes in themselves. That will allow you to inspire so many people around you, and that will just give you the proper vibration that you need to transform your love life instantly. Group number 2, make sure that you believe in yourself. Let bygones be bygones and focus today on creating your dream love life that is tomorrow. So group number 2, that is a reading that I received for you. I really do hope that you enjoyed it and found it insightful, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amethyst. So group number 3, this is a stone that you're probably familiar with, and I definitely see that, this is a stone that can just up any situation, spiritually, mentally, physically, okay? Adding a amethyst to a room just gives it a way nicer vibe and allows you to shed any of, victim mentality, any mentality where you sort of feel like you're not in control. The amethyst wants you to take back your power and remember that you're strong, that you are in control, and that you can transform your love life at any given point in time if you want to. But let's move further into your reading to figure out what's truly going to be happening in your love life and how you can transform it. Okay, so group number 3, in your reading we have Venus, we have the lizard spirit, we have the stag spirit, we have the dog spirit, the crow spirit, the 5th house, workaholic, wisdom, joy, as well as trickery. So group number 3, let's get straight into your reading about how you can transform your love life. So moving straight into your reading, I definitely see that, the Venus area of your life is what will be affected and what will allow you to transform your love life. So the Venus part of your life is everything that has to do with beauty, success, anything that has to do with things that are valuable to you. So know that when it comes to beauty and when it comes to success, it is very subjective. So group number 3, I want you to ask yourself, are you being too hard on yourself when it comes to beauty, when it comes to success, when it comes to things that you desire? Do you get to one little milestone and one little goal and then completely diminish it and already look for the next one because you're not satisfied with what it is that you have already accomplished? So I want you to think to yourself, is my desire able to be satisfied? Will I ever be satisfied? Or will I constantly be longing for more? So allowing yourself to know when that threshold of satisfaction is reached, that is super essential for you to transform your love life, because if you constantly feel like there is something better out there, or like, you're not good enough, or even if you reach this amount of success, it's still not good enough, obviously that is just going to end up in a cycle of unhappiness, as well as a love life where you constantly have these same issues. So moving further into your reading, I definitely see that taking the lead is something that will totally transform your love life. So in the stag spirit, I see that maybe up until this point you have allowed other people to take the lead, or you've been the kind of person who wants other people to sort of talk to them and chat them up. So I definitely feel like maybe you have to switch things up. Maybe you have to be the one taking the lead and be the one sort of deciding what's happening. Because in the lizard spirit, I can see that you can dream the world that you desire into being. So be open. Be open to taking the lead. If you're somebody who is used to being asked out or sees that as a dream scenario, I want you to not allow opportunities to basically fade away because you didn't want to take the leap, because you didn't want to be the one taking the lead. And that is something that is really dangerous, because you may miss out on a lot of valuable experiences and also on valuable connections with people who you could have really amazing relationships with if you were just the one to take the lead and to try and, keep contact up, or just basically be the one making that first contact. So group number 3, don't be ashamed to be the one to go out there and properly put yourself out there. Don't expect other people to do the work, be the one doing the work. So moving further into your reading, we have the dog spirit. So being loyal to the things that you love is what will transform your love life completely. So maybe right now you're sort of playing a role, or you're not completely who you want to be, all just to sort of entice society and entice whoever it is that you're trying to attract. But I want you to know that true attraction always has to do with the core values of people. And if you're sort of covering up your core values, then nobody will ever really know who you are. It'll be impossible to transform your love life or to meet anybody who has a genuine connection with you. So don't be afraid, be loyal to what it is that serves you. So if you know that, for instance, dancing serves you, singing serves you, if you're into really special music or a special sort of fashion sense, I want you to know that being loyal to that will give you so much fulfillment and such a radiant, positive aura that is something that will transform your love life, because it'll transform how people perceive you and also how you perceive yourself. So be loyal and don't let anybody sort of question your loyalty or make you feel like it is inadequate for you to be loyal to what it is that you love. That is not okay. You need to remain firm, and you need to be the one setting boundaries in those situations. In the crow spirit, I see that, you have to co-create with spirit. You have to co-create with the universe. So the universe can help us up until a certain point, but after that point, you really need to be the one putting in work and action. So obviously the universe has these amazing laws, like for instance, the law of attraction, where like attracts like. So that is, an amazing magnet, but in order to really use that magnet, you have to first put on the right setting, and you're the only one who can set it, if you know what I mean. So get on that good vibration, get on that positivity train, and, allow that to be something that radiates and shines, and allow that to be the energy that you attract back. But you have to put in that first bit of work of being positive, of being the one putting yourself out there in order to transform your love life. So in the 5th house, I see that the area of your life where fun, romance, creative things, everything that you're basically happy about, proud of, everything that you desire, that is a part of your life that needs a little bit of work in order for you to transform your love life. So as I already mentioned in the dog spirit, being loyal to the things that you love. For instance, if you are a hopeless romantic, don't allow anybody to tell you otherwise. If you're dating someone and they say, oh, I hate romantic gestures and I really don't like dancing to techno music or whatever it is that you love, know that maybe it's just not meant to be, because you should not be compromising what it is that you're into in order to satisfy somebody else or in order to make somebody else feel comfortable. So group number 3, know that you have to stand your ground. Know that you need to be the one who experiences joy all the time, because when you're not happy and you're not joyful, it transpires into everything, and you're just going to attract somebody who is also not happy and not joyful if that is where you are. So know that it is really true that misery likes company. People who complain often attract each other. People with addictions often attract each other, as well as, positive people often bunch together. So surround yourself with people who have qualities that you admire. Surround yourself with people where you're like, okay, if we're bunched together and this is our core quality, I'm proud of that. And if you feel like right now you're not in that position, know that, you have to allow lessons to be learned. You have to sort of come to this clarity. You have to come to this point where you're like, okay, if I continue on this route, I will not be able to manifest my dream love life. So I need to truly change something, and maybe I need to hang out less with people who are super negative. Maybe I need to spend more time by myself. Maybe I need to invest more time in work, as I can see in Workaholic that in order to transform your love life, you do need to work hard. In order to transform, you have to sort of be very focused, and the best area of your life where you can truly sort of practice focusing right now is probably your work. So know that being a workaholic is something that can distract you from any negativities. So if you feel like your work is something that you're into, something that makes you happy, where you can accomplish things that are all positive, where you're not, for instance, chatting about things that are negative, where you're not sad, where you're solely just focusing on the task at hand, that is a great way to distract yourself as soon as you feel like you're going down a slippery slope of self-destructive behavior. So group number 3, I truly want you to invest energy into your work as soon as you feel like things are going a little bit south. So in trickery, I see that in order to transform your love life, you have to be very aware of your surroundings. So I feel like what is essential for you is to truly believe what people do and not what they say. So maybe up until this point, you've been a little bit too naive or gullible, or you've been always wanting to believe in the good of people and give people the benefit of the doubt. But usually in love, or basically just in life, that is a recipe for hurt, and that is a recipe for you to get used. So know that there is a difference between being a caring person who values themselves compared to somebody who is a little naive and gullible. Know that it is so essential for you to cultivate wisdom. Know that it is so essential for you to definitely, allow joy to be the main part of your life, but also be smart. So group number 3, go through life with both eyes open. Be wary of situations. Really put people to the test and see what do they do. Don't just give people the benefit of the doubt so easily. Allow, their actions to speak louder than their words, and know that trust is something that is earned. So while you may be somebody who likes to just give trust by default, that is good to a certain extent, but don't give too much trust too easily, because I can see that in order to transform your love life, you need to protect yourself a little more. You need to be somebody who knows boundaries, who sets boundaries for other people, and who allows other people to first show who they are before you then, allow them too much into your life and before you get too deeply involved with them. So group number 3, that is the reading and the advice that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I wish you nothing but the best for your love life, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Malachite. So group number 4, I want to talk to you about why you may have chosen the Malachite. So the Malachite is not only a gorgeous green radiant mineral, it is also a stone that is for anybody who has a lot of creative ideas, who is constantly on the go, very business oriented, but who may sort of have a little bit of difficulty following through and actually, turning those dreams into a reality, just because, it is a very big dream, or you feel kind of like intimidated or fearful of what if I actually succeed, if you know what I mean. Group number 4, let's move further into your reading to figure out how you can transform your love life. But I definitely get this feeling that in order to transform your love life, you need to start to focus, you need to start to follow through on the promises that you make to yourself, as well as, allow yourself to bathe in some success sometimes. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, so group number 4, in your reading, we have the moon, we have the bat spirit, we have the sandpiper spirit, we have gossip, passion, gratitude, complacency, we have the antelope spirit, the deer spirit, as well as the 12th house. So group number 4, I want to get straight into your reading about how you can transform your love life. So first and foremost, in the moon, I see that the part of you that is unconscious, the part of you that is your intuition, that is your instinct, is something that will allow you to transform your love life immediately. So listening to whatever it is that your gut says is usually the best route, is usually the most trustworthy route. So if you feel like many times in the past you've tried to be rational and you've tried to sort of just go with the flow of what you're supposed to be doing or what society wants you to do, but then in the end you bumped your head and thought, oh, I should have went with what my heart said all along. Group number 4, you need to be doing that to transform not only your life, but also your love life. You know, you don't have time to start reasoning. You don't have time to start telling yourself, oh, but you know, my parents or society, or this is how it's supposed to be done. Your gut feeling is what you need to transform your love life, because your gut feeling doesn't lie and always has your best intentions at heart. Whereas society, people standing on the outside, faux friends, they all lie. They all, you know, don't have your best intention at heart, because you're the only one who truly knows what you need, and you're the only one who truly knows how you feel when you're happy, when you're down, when you feel exhausted, and when you feel hopeless, you know. So make sure that you make the right decisions for you and don't allow anybody to tell you not to trust your intuition. So in the 12th house, I definitely see that part of your life that is connected to a greater cause or a higher spirit. So for instance, if you believe in the universe or you're religious, it doesn't really matter. Just a part of you that believes that there is a power out there that has an influence on each and every one of our lives. I see that that is something that must be affected in order for you to transform your love life. So allow yourself to be open-minded. Allow yourself to know that yes, there is a higher power that will bring you to where you're supposed to be, or that will bring the right person into your life at the right time. But at the same time, you know, sort of be chill about it. Sort of allow yourself to be grateful for the moment without expecting it to be perfect, because that is how you actually invite people in a lot quicker than you ever expected. So for instance, in the antelope spirit, you know, life is speeding up. That is something that I can totally relate to. As soon as I gave things up to the universe, as soon as I told myself, you know, the right person will come when the right person is supposed to come, that is when all of a sudden, you know, just by being grateful for what I had without actually being in a relationship, that is how all of a sudden the universe created this twin flame relationship for me and brought it straight into my life at a time that was almost too fast, that was almost too speedy, as the antelope spirit suggests. So allow that to be your outlook. Allow yourself to, you know, give things time, because usually when you want to give things time is when all of a sudden things happen really quickly. So know that an attitude for gratitude is definitely going to be transforming your love life, and is definitely going to be allowing that energy out there that you need in order to transform not only other parts of your life, but also your love. And then in the back spirit, I see that, you know, a rebirth is something that you will be able to experience as soon as you let go of being too hard on yourself. So in the Sandalwood spirit, I see very playful energy. I see energy where you don't need to take yourself so seriously. So be a bit more lighthearted. If you're somebody who freaks out really easily and who likes to be in control all the time, you know, you have to relax. You have to take a chill pill. You have to remember that you cannot control everything, and that you just need to transform to somebody who can be complacent because they want to, not because they have to. So know that just basically giving things a little bit of time is often the best solution when you bump your head. So if you feel like in love you've gotten to a point where you're complacent, just like we have in complacency, know that any energy that is too try hard or, you know, too forceful is definitely what is holding you back from manifesting your dream love life. So bring a very gentle touch. Know that life and love is something fragile. Know that love is something that you have to work on very carefully and very gently, because if you start rushing things forcefully, if you start pushing for things, that is when the outcome is not going to be favorable. That is when things are not going to be the way they're supposed to be, because you did not listen to your intuition and you did not let, things just happen and go by your gut feeling, because you tried to push things to happen. So know that that is definitely something that you don't need. That is definitely just going to make your love life take a lot longer to transform to what you truly want it to be. Know that letting go of any sort of idea of when your love life is supposed to be perfect and allowing this greater force to do its job whenever it sees it fit for you to have that twin flame and that love life that you desire. Know that once you allow that to happen is when things are going to be speeding up, as we have in the Antelope Spirit. So moving further into your reading, I definitely see that doing what you're passionate about is going to transform your love life. Doing what you're passionate about will allow you to meet a lot of people and also potential love interests. So not doing what you're passionate about just puts you in a completely different vibrational space, in a completely different vibe that is just not as attractive as when you're really into things. You know what I mean? Have you ever come across somebody who is telling you about something that they're really into, that they really love, and you feel that excitement? You almost feel like you love that thing just as much as they do, if not more. And that is all because, they're so excited for life, for whatever it is that they're doing, and that sort of rubs off on you. So I want you to keep in mind that you doing what you're passionate about rubs off on situation, it rubs off on your love life, and it will allow you to transform your love life. So definitely focus on your passions, definitely focus on gratitude, being grateful, and do not, I repeat, do not take part in any gossip. That is toxic. That is something that needs to be banned out of your life, because it is only going to create friction and negativity. So if you have friends or people around you who live off gossip, okay, and I mean, like, you cannot have a simple conversation about business, about accomplishing things, about the world. Everything just always needs to be gossip. It needs to be talking about other people in a way that is less than nice. Know that that does not help your love life at all. And in order to transform your love life, you have to remove gossip. You need to get rid of that in order to remove any sort of judgmental streak. As I see that, once you have judgment, once you have an idea of what somebody is like, a certain group of people are like, a certain demographic is like, that is when all of a sudden, once again, your judgment is clouded, your intuition is not working properly, because you're allowing some other idea to create your vision. You're allowing something else to decide how you view situations and how you view certain people and just generally the world. So group number 4, definitely keep your vision very clear, keep your intuitive side very much polished up, and stay away from any sort of, gossip. Stay away from any situation where you're talking about other people in a way that isn't kind, because it's just going to attract that same energy back. And one thing that you definitely don't need is gossip in order to transform your love life. What you need is, passion. What you need is gratitude. What you need is a gentle touch when it comes to your love life in order to really let things happen, in order to be able to co-create with the universe. So group number 4, make sure that you focus on what you're passionate about. Make sure that you focus on gratitude, because then all of a sudden life is going to start speeding up, as mentioned in the Antelope Spirit, and all of a sudden that will allow your love life to start to transform at the speed of lightning. So group number 4, that is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I wish you the best moving forward in your love life, and I will see you in my next reading.